listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass capped in publishing states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized. It's keeping me energized. Create with a business mind. I'm from where killers reside. A wild hood, only knew goons since my childhood. Say anything in their raps cause it sound good. Don't even mean what they...
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals
and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 39, Carr. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. The first down carry here for Johnson.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are down.
Touchdown!
Zamir White,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Raiders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Now a man born here in California, Joe Mixon. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow.
He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now they go play action now. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Throwing now. Burrow on first down. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. The 20. 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown. Then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. In that offense, they're forced to run right back out. Still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And some room to work. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The ball comes out. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
A big play there for Cincinnati. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Kareem Hunt, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are back within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. The Carr's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 77 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Back to Mixon on first down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. From midfield now, Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Touchdown, Bengals. Kareem Hunt, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to within a score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. The Raiders at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. And now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. Now Carr. Oh, it's tipped, but he still makes the adjustment. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. The Carr's throw into the hands of his receiver, Guyton. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 51 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. It's their quarterback as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He's going to let it go again. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Charles, some things to like about that first half. Ultimately trailing here, but certainly this deficit is manageable. So curious to see what adjustments they may have made at intermission.
As am I, because I think things bode well for a possible comeback, because I thought a lot of their best reps in the first half came through the passing game. They were hitting the open receivers, taking whatever the coverage gave them and making it work well for themselves. Now, they just want to pick up the pace of scoring a little bit. So I expect them to come back and continue to throw the ball effectively.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. On 1st down, Carr. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Running from the gun, Johnson. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
8 more yards this time coming off back-to-back 1st down pickups. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Here's back-to-back catches for Davante Adams. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Throwing now is Carr. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. On as the Raider kickoff unit now, as they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. 2nd time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold?
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. They go play action with Burrow. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. Touchdown! Jamar Chase halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Bengals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here,
guess what?
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. Here's A.J. Cole now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Fielded just inside the third. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The Bengals drive about to get going. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now it's Burrow. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Come on, Rick.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Open man, completes it to Claypool. Given back-to-back catches now. That one for 16, and another first down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They will throw on first down with Burrow. Flush to his right. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the play, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. They're passing here. Joe Burrow eluding the pressure right. Right side, Claypool's got it. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Hunt will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Flushed out right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Here we go. It's Burrow on 4th down. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. Through an opening, and there he goes. 20. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line. So he picks it in one end zone, brings it all the way down inside the red zone.
And he took a gamble, didn't he, Brandon? I mean, he intercepted that in the end zone. Could have taken a knee there. They get the ball on their own 20. Great job taking the ball away. But he takes that chance, brings it out, and boy, what a conversion that turned out to be.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Johnson going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now Carr. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. CD, I know from working with you that you're about as old school as they come. Your thoughts on throwing that ball from the 1-yard line?
Yeah, I just got done walking my dinosaur, as you well know, and ordinarily I'm screaming, run the football from the 1-yard line. But if you are going to throw it, just take extra care. That didn't happen there, and they turned the ball over.
Steps away. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35. Now Burrow on 1st down. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Burrow. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that 1st down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Being chased out left. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here's Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raider D, they get the football back. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
They'll try and run down some clock with Johnson. 111 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that.
And it'll be intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Throwing, Burrow. His throw incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Burrow. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a...
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Carr going to throw here. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Now Burrow. Forced out to his left. And he'll just get rid of it. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw, Burrow. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. This to possibly force OT. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways.
Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate food from all of the base. My ace boom goon big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stock my bad kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move, they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The Alpha and Omega, promise it ain't nothing after. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make